Hello, everybody. Tracy, Mrs. JDog Flanagan with you here today. I'm the co-founder and senior vice president here at JDog Brands. Welcome back to another exciting episode powered by JDog. Our podcast gives veterans, male spouses, active military members, and military family members a voice in the veteran space to speak about their service, how they're affecting their communities post-service, and they share with me a tactical treasure from their past that has shaped their journey in their military career, business, or life. Today, I am so excited to be speaking with Anna Hunter. Anna grew up in New York with her parents and three brothers, moved to the Midwest when she was 17. And at the age of 23, Anna joined the Marine Corps, where she served for 7.5 years before just recently transitioning out. Post-service, Anna is working as the Director of Merchandising at Irreverent Warriors, a nonprofit organization that brings veterans together using humor and camaraderie to improve mental health and prevent veteran suicide. And she currently lives in Florida with her husband and stepdaughter. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining
Hi.
us today.
Thanks for having me, Tracy.
You're welcome.
I will actually correct one thing. My position has changed with Irreverent Warriors, and I'm now the local Fort Walton Beach coordinator. And
Okay.
I'm currently working at a Barry Law Firm as well.
Wow. Oh, we know Barry Law Firm. I love John Barry. What are you
Yeah.
doing there?
I'm part of the quality control team on the Camp Lejeune water litigation case.
Oh,
So I
wow.
talk to basically Vietnam vets, their families, and their children all day long, making
Wow.
sure their cases are reviewed to be able to get sent up.
Oh, wow. That's great. What a very rewarding work. That was we had John Barry on and Amber Conroy together. And then we had John Barry back once they passed that PACT Act. So, that's exciting. Exciting work for you. That's really great.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
uh it's hard sometimes for
sure.
sure
Yeah. I,
because you're talking to people who have been riddled with disease now because of the water.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but and some of them have been fighting things for like 15 years.
Right.
And
Yeah.
finally with the PACT Act, we're able to move forward with it. So it's just nice to be like an encouraging light in someone's day. Plus it's flexible with traveling with IW, and working from home is good, and especially with school starting back up. So kind of just works out.
Right, right. That's great. That's great. Yeah, we do have some colleagues that have suffered with the water from Camp Lejeune. So
Yeah.
we know some people who have had loss because of it. So yeah, terrible, terrible thing. But glad you're in there and helping out and doing what you can. That's really great.
Yeah, it worked out really well. I just went up to Jacob Fry, a mutual coordinator for IW that works at Barry Law, and I had just gotten out of the Marine Corps, and I said, "Hey, you should hire me. I don't know what you do, but you should hire me." And he said, "Okay."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that is really neat about the military community is, once you have that trust and that bond with fellow veterans, it's like you already know each other, and it just
Oh,
makes
oh yeah.
for a lot of synergy, whether it's nonprofit work or jobs, and it's awesome. That's really great. But take me back. So, what led you to join the Marine Corps?
Well, it is kind of a dark story. So, I had moved out of my parents' house and I was living on my own. I was a waitress. So waitress for about 9 years, and went to school for a year, and I got into a really bad crowd. Um, I guess I can say this now that I'm out of the military, but I was addicted to a lot of different drugs, and I knew I just needed to get out of there. Um, so I decided that joining the military would be a way to keep myself accountable, because I have something more to work for. And so in 2015. I went to boot camp. I was withdrawing from meth and heroin,
Oh, wow.
but would never take it back. But that was the biggest reason why, and also because um, it was something that always was attracted to me. Growing up, I was big part of any soldier, sending the boxes overseas. I would raise my own money, um, spend my own money on it. But my family was very traditional growing up. And so I wanted to join the army because that's what everyone thought of any military. Um, but my parents kind of were like, no, you're going to be a homemaker, um, you know, have kids, raise them in a good Christian way. And then I moved out very young and
Yeah.
went the opposite direction for a while. But then I talked to them when I was 23 and explained why I wanted to join, and they supported it as well. And that kind of started the healing process for me and my family too. So
Wow, that's really
that's
great.
that's why.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good story, that you found something that you really cared about that you knew could point you in the right direction and put you on a good path. So, good for you
I
for
wanted to
being
just
able to.
do something I was proud of.
Sure, sure. And you did it. You did it. And yeah, and I know that you and I go back. We met each other at the first IW March, not this past year, but last year, um, and it's been great. And you're a remarkable woman, and I have a lot of
Well,
respect for you. So you've really you're amazing. So um,
thank you. You are as well. I'm just honored to always have conversations with you, and just,
oh.
after every one, I'm just like, oh, did I talk too much? Did she also enjoy the
No,
conversation?
I have enjoyed, our conversations, and it was so great. You and Nate came to our JCon this past year. It was really wonderful to have you guys there to represent IW, and
Yeah, it was an amazing time. It's just, I
yeah,
feel like I'm just blessed beyond belief with all these opportunities between going to the JDog conference or the MIC.
yeah,
Just, it's inspiring for sure.
yeah, that's great. Um, so it appears that your transition experience coming out has really been great. I mean, doing your coordination there and getting a job with Barry Law, and so that's really awesome. So, although I have to ask, how did you first get introduced to IW? How did you get started there?
Um, well, when I was stationed in Okinawa, I saw the ads start coming up on Facebook. You said IW, correct? How
Yeah.
did I get involved?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was back when it first started in 2015. And so I kind of just followed it online until 2019. Like, I thought it was really cool. I always wanted to do one, but it was obviously way smaller then, way different, and I was overseas.
Right.
But then when I decided to lat move, I came down to Florida to go to my next school, and I saw an ad on Facebook for the Fort Lauderdale hike. And I texted one of my friends that I didn't know very well and said, hey, random question, do you want to drive 8 hours through the night with me to go on this ruck? And he was like, yes. And I was like, cool. And so I drove through the night. I didn't sleep. I drove through the night and got there as it was starting. Um, and actually, that's where I met Nate. And uh, we, we've realized that we lived 15 minutes from each other.
Oh my gosh.
And um, so that kind of helped me get involved and know more what was going on. And so the next hike that I went to was, I believe, Baton Rouge. And I went there with Nate, and I got hooked because I was talking with one of these veterans, and he was sober, and he just kind of explained his story to me, and I explained mine to him, and he said, "That's crazy. I'm so glad I came here because I thought I was the only one." And that
Oh,
kind of just made everything that I went through in my life worth it. Like it put a purpose to my pain. Like there was a reason for it. And from then on, I bothered Nate to give me a job to help him out because he was running
right.
around doing everything at that point.
Right.
And then because I'm kind of artsy, I started doing the merchandise. I was the director of merchandise for about 3.5 years. And then between that, going to school and transitioning out of the Marine Corps and moving, and the fact that the organization has doubled each year, and I was kind
Right.
of Googling everything I knew how to do,
Yeah.
it just got to be too much. And, for my mental health and for me wanting to have that still positive relationship with IW, I was like, I need to step back a little bit, at least until life slows down from school. And, I was doing about 30 hours a week for IW volunteering, and it just drained me for a
Sure.
while. So
Yeah.
now since we're back in Florida, Nate asked me if I could do the local coordination here because he was doing it, and I said yes.
Yeah, that's great. Veterans, military family members, if you're looking for an incredible opportunity, I would encourage you to check out JDogBrands.com. If you're interested in business ownership, if you're missing what was the best thing about your military service, being the camaraderie of fellow veterans, JDog is a place for you. If you go to JDogBrands.com, you can find out everything about JDog, including how to apply for franchise opportunities in either JDog Junk Removal and Hauling or our new division, Carpet Cleaning and Floor Care. And if you're looking to just be employed by a JDog, we have over 300 locations, close to 115 franchise owners, 90% veteran owned. You can go to the career page and fill out the form and see where we're hiring all across the country. And we connect you with your local JDog in your territory. So check us out, jdogbrands.com. What's the most rewarding thing about IW, do you think, for you?
Um, well, it was like that story where that my friend said I thought I was the only one, but really helping IW is almost a little selfish for me because I heal through helping others. And so to me, that is one of the reasons why IW is so addicting immediately to people, and they don't even realize, and it's because they're there and they're able to help somebody else, which gives you a sense of purpose.
Sure.
And once you have a sense of purpose, especially in life, when life gets hard, if there's no sense of purpose, why would you struggle? Why would you keep pushing forward? Whereas if you have a purpose, whether you're aware of it or not, that's what gives you the strength to keep going. And I think that's why IW is kind of so addictive to everybody. But that's basically the rewarding for me. Like
Mhm.
I've been blessed beyond belief by IW. There's been up and downs for sure, but now because of it, I have my husband. I have three of the best like friends I could ever have who invest back in me, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's not going to be my friend, but hopefully they'll be able to find their friends as well like I have. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
There's
great.
a lot that I guess that stands out now.
Yeah. So this leads into your tactical treasure, I believe. So what would you like to share with us today, Anna?
So, my little tactical treasure is tenacity. And that's something that helped get me through my military career. I started off as obviously as a woman joining the Marine Corps. I expected it to be tougher. I expected to have to prove myself more. And so When I first joined as food service, it wasn't enough for me. And so I went and I was the third female to go through assessment and selection for MARSOC, and I was the first to pass everything. And
Wow.
that was the first time I really, other than graduating boot camp, I pushed myself. That's the day that I learned what mental strength was. And that's when your body can go on anymore, but you still go. And that was the start of a lot more things that I wasn't aware of that would end up affecting me later on. I broke my back and didn't know during that course, but uh, I just was proud of what I tried to do with it. And then moving on, since I wasn't selected, I went EOD. And graduating EOD school was the proudest I've ever been in my life, because it's one of the most challenging schools, I think. And
Yeah.
it was very fun as well. But as I kept pushing myself and I kind of hit the peak in my life after, you holding on, pushing through, wanting more, and then I broke my back again, and this time it was really
Oh,
bad.
no.
So not only that happening, the medical care wasn't good at all. I lost my physical health, something that I worked really hard for because I was really proud of where I held my standards. And so it was just a really, really humbling experience, losing that strength, losing basically everything that I had worked for in the military and everything that I was so proud of. And then getting out medically, not being able to finish it because I was broken, kind of just sent me spiraling. Like I felt like a fraud. I felt like everything I was so proud of, and it was really hard to come out of. Thankfully, Nate was there by my side, but just between that 2020, you know, I
COVID.
had to learn a lot about myself.
Yeah.
Very humbling experiences, and you know, I could have stayed in, but time and health is a valuable resource and it's limited. And had to come to terms with that and still be proud of what I had done and still be proud of my service. And then, dealing with it now, like I feel like I'm finally on the other end of it. And I wouldn't have had that I wouldn't have made it through all the things that I've made it through in life without faith and the desire to fulfill a purpose, and that drives me forward. Sometimes I don't know where I'm going, but being stagnant doesn't work for me, and I'm really thankful for my faith. I would say that is my biggest tactical treasure, because without my belief in something more, I wouldn't be someone who is able to push through or hold on through all the things that I've gone through, I think. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's really, really special. Um, sometimes faith is everything. It pulls us through, even when, physically or mentally, emotionally, we don't have the ability to carry on. So
Yeah.
that's really, really important. And wow, that is some amazing things that you accomplished in the military. You have much to be proud of, girl. I'm telling you, really. Uh, Completing MARSOC, wow, that's
It
amazing.
was just it was the assessment portion. I wasn't competitive enough, so that's why I didn't go on to the second phase. But the 13, I think it was 12 or 13-mile ruck was when I learned what mental strength actually was.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean that you're just stubborn and you can decide to do things. It meant, wow, you
yeah,
just have to keep going even though your body doesn't keep going.
right, right. Wow, that's amazing. Hello, listeners, viewers. Thank you for tuning into Tactical Treasures podcast. So, I would like to introduce you to IW or Irreverent Warriors. The JDog Foundation helps sponsor their what they call silky hikes. So, it's an amazing time of camaraderie and mental wellness for our veterans who have served our country. They get together and do hikes probably in close to 80 cities across the country. And lots of veterans show up, probably 150 to 200 veterans or more, and they hike 10 miles through the city. And it's a great time to connect, tell stories, and support one another and encourage one another in their mental wellness. And I encourage you to find out more about it. Veterans, military service people, if you're looking for a way to connect, this is a great way to do it. Check out irreverentwarriors.org and find where the next hike is, hopefully close to your location. So, what advice would you give to fellow veterans who may be struggling similar to, how you struggled when you got out and just trying to find that way forward? Do you have any advice or suggestions?
I feel like my transition was a little bit different than most veterans because for me, getting out, it wasn't, I can't wait to get out, screw the Marine Corps, and then miss it as soon as I get out, or vice versa. I wasn't super happy to get out. It was time for me. And so I had plans to move on and I'm getting happier now. And I think because I already had the community of IW, so
Right.
I still kind of have community, that really affected it as well. But that's the biggest thing that I would say is find your community again. You have to put in effort still. And it's hard sometimes because they don't have anyone else kicking them in the butt to do it.
Sure.
Um, but I would say yeah, make sure you find yourself a community again that you can be you in, or that helps challenges you, because without that, we have nothing.
Yeah.
And
Well
yeah,
said.
so
Well
that was
said.
one reason why. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just saying, well said, but continue, please.
Thank you. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I really worked hard on getting active duty to Irreverent Warriors events, because it was the same thing for me. The transition was much easier because I still have friends all over the place that I talk to all the time, even if I don't talk to the people I was in the Marine Corps with anymore until they get out or something, because they're still living their lives in. But yeah, don't be afraid of reaching out, and hold yourself accountable, like, for the things that have happened, I guess. Like, live live learn to live with your traumas instead of using them as an excuse, I guess. Like, they're there, they're a part of you, but give your pain a purpose, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great advice. And I could see that, if you are active, if you can be able to get to a hike or be a part of IW, I'm sure that I could see how that would make the transition easier once you do get out, because you kind of already have
Yeah,
that
and
community.
that's the biggest thing too, is it's not even, I think this year the focus is going to be on community building. So the hikes have always been only the introduction, and this year we're really going to focus on that hike being the initial event, but then you're building the community still all year. So the hike will still be only for vets and everything, but lately, here at least, we've just had Sunday fun days, and everyone came out. There was like 30 people with their families and everything, of actual just community building. And that's something I'm really excited about, is building up the local community. So it's, yeah, more than just the hikes.
Yeah. And I think that that's important too for veterans. A lot of times when they transition or get out, they don't necessarily go back to where they came from. So essentially, a lot of times they're walking into a brand new neighborhood or a brand new community, and they struggle to just connect with, you
Yeah.
know, other, not only veteran organizations, but just with their community as a whole, with their neighbors, So I think that's really good a good branch that you guys are going into, because I think they need help with that.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Because we still will. I think at least a couple times a week since we've been down here, we have gotten people together, and they always have a good time. But it's like dragging them out. Sometimes there's like,
Yeah,
and it's like, get out here and hang out with us.
yeah, yeah, true. Um, and our J Dogs are partnering with all your IW hikes, like all over across the country. It's really cool. So we've heard of
Yeah,
a lot of our J Dogs getting involved with doing something with the hike or actually doing the hike themselves and stuff. So, yeah, we love getting involved with you guys, and it's been a great partnership, JDog and IW. So it's been really great. And
yeah.
we look
And
forward to the
I'm
hike.
excited this year. It's gonna get bigger.
Yeah, May 6th is the hike here in Philadelphia. We're really looking forward to that. I've already marked the calendar.
I need to write that down.
Oh, am I telling you
I'm
something you don't know? I think it's May 6th.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's probably on the hike list, but it's the same thing with my hike. I think it's October 21st, but I need to double check on that because Nate picked it out before I was aware.
Right, right. That's great. So, can you tell us where people can find and connect with you and where they can get more info about IW?
So I have my LinkedIn profile, which is you can find Anna Hunter, or my all of my social media is the same. I also have my local IW Facebook group, which is the IW Destin for Walton Beach group, and that is local. Um, my email is anna@irreverentwarriors.com, so it's pretty easy to remember. And yeah, just here in Mary Esther, Florida, and I hope that people join the Facebook group, and if you're local, to be able to hang out with us.
That's great. Yeah. Well, Anna, thanks so much for taking the time to come on and talk with us today and all the great things that you're doing. I'm so happy for you. Um,
Thank
and
you. I'm finally happy for me too again.
Oh, that's great. That's great. How's the weather down there?
Oh man, it has been a little chilly, but today is gorgeous. I think it is 69 degrees and sunny with blue skies. And here's my happy place. I'm just really excited to be back.
Yeah, really. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Well, I'm jealous. Although I have to say, we're pretty mild this winter. I think we've only had, well, it was real cold on Saturday, and just before Christmas we had a cold snap, but we've been like hanging around the 40s and low 50s.
Hmm.
So, if I have to be
Us
in
too,
Pennsylvania,
actually.
I know, if I have to be in Pennsylvania, I'll take that all day long.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we Jerry and I would love to make our way down to your area. That's kind of on our bucket list. So when we do, we'll be sure to check in with you and Nate.
Oh yeah. Well, you're more than welcome to stay at our house if you'd like. Have a good old time.
Thank you. All right. Well, you take care, girl. It was great to speak to you. And thanks so much for coming on Tactical Treasures. And we'll talk soon.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Bye.